Springbok for Friday, hands up professionals.
Yes.
Hi, Fassi.
Hello.
I had a lot of time working together when I did the Sharks this season. When you make back in the Springbok selection and are you excited to run?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to train and play with Ethan at obviously at the highest level. I think he's a brilliant player that can play center and play on the wing. He's showed his value through the season at the Sharks and what he can produce. So yeah, just excited for him to be in this setup. Excited for what the future holds for him.
Just maybe talk a bit about the battle for places now when you've been on the fringes, maybe once again with all game time, you've got Damien as well,
Yeah.
and Billy's obviously aiming for that 100 caps as well. How's that rivalry then?
Yeah, I don't think it's a rivalry. I think obviously from what the coaches have been telling us, it's just being able to build a squad in the right direction, being able to help each other week in and week out. I think obviously the couple of weeks with me and Damien here, we've been helping each other with different areas of our game, being able to improve. And, with the experience that really brings between the both of me and Damien or myself, it's vital for us. And yeah, the aim for us is not to be able to bash each other up or anything, but it's be able to compete and be able to help each other going forward.
You're two very different fullbacks anyway, your skills and your strengths as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone has a different way of playing, and I think obviously we all have X factor that we want to bring into the game, and all we do is just be able to help each other and be able to understand what the game plan is and how we want to play as the Springboks and how your individual X factor can filter into the team.
Rassi mentioned that he's not in contact with the franchises, asking them to play like this or things like that.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think it's easy to adjust coming back from the Springbok, having played in this franchise system for almost a year, for 9 months or something, and then coming back and having to adjust. Is it an easy adjustment for all the alignment camps, or is it a bit of a stretch?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say it's a difficult adjustment. I think as a rugby player, you just play your own national game, but obviously what's in the game plan is how you put yourself into the game plan as well. So I think the coaches, like with Rassi and Tony, with the attack and how the defense works, is pretty much similar to each and every obviously system. But you bring in your X factor and how you play normally within the structures of the Springboks.
But defense, especially, the Leinster, for example, compared to Ireland, there's a huge difference in the defensive structures. And the Springboks is not that much of a difference between from the franchise to the Springbok.
Yeah, I think every franchise has its own, obviously, defensive structures and everything. But yeah, once you come in here, you're a collective, and you kind of forget about everything else and focus on what is needed to be done and what is needed to learn.
After your great season with the Boks last year, you need that in school. Do their homework on you, and this season might be a bit tougher?
Yeah, definitely. I think each and every year that you play, and each and every year that you start, you have a target on your back, and I think that's why we are sportsmen, and that's why we want to develop our game and be able to be not predictable. So it's up to me to be able to tick those boxes and play a different style or come up with a different approach in how I go into games and how I play.
Fassi, just on Billy and Ruths' influence on your, let's say, mock camps when you guys are together, how much have you as a player have taken from him in terms of his experience, and obviously he's working with you on a couple of extra things? Are you asking him questions, or is it just about you working on your own strengths?
Yeah, I kind of do work on my own strengths, where I see, obviously, we both see the game in a different way. I try to definitely learn off him and feed off him. And then in situations where, I kind of don't see or don't know what to do, I kind of feed off him And yeah, it's been a massive impact with me. You know, even yesterday or the day before we were training, and you know, after training, came and sat with him and asked him a few questions, and you know, the answers that he gave me is something that I really needed and something that builds me going up into the season.
Yeah. Aphelele, it's been a while since your time as a fly half for Dale College and your school days. How did you enjoy your kicking forehand with the Sharks against Scarlets about a month ago? And we've seen guys like Aphelele and Colby called on to kick for posts for the Boks in a pinch. Do you fancy yourself a bit of a backup option there?
I wouldn't say that I do fancy myself as a backup option, but like I said, it's just me trying to develop many skills that I can have within myself. Back at the Sharks, John did mention about my kicking and everything, and started training that bits by bits, and yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking that I got the opportunity to kick against Scarlets, but I think with training, everything just becomes more smoother.
Any other questions? People? Yeah.
In terms of the academic development, last season you got a good performance with us on the table. How important was that, sort of developing the character? One is you can just put something to the care of those skills.
Yeah, it was, I guess, important, and I guess it did build a lot of character in me. It did show that I could be able to do things that I didn't think that I was able to do, and then just took that what I learned from here last season into the past season that just passed now with the Sharks. Just trying to, I guess, implement the things that I've learned and how I was with the Springboks into the Sharks. So. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Freedom that you guys are allowed by the individual how important is it to continue expressing yourself just those recognition and expecting?
Yeah, it's proper because like I said, Tony and the coaches, they want us to express ourselves, be able to play with freedom, but obviously just following as well, like how we want to execute and how we want to play as a team, So it's you're not boxed up, and that's what we like. Like you said, we've got players that have X factor, Damien, Jesse, Gaza. So to be able to box up those players, it kind of just puts them away. But we're just happy to be able to play the rugby that that one knows that they can play, but also within the structures.
Dan, and then
Aphelele, you've been around the ball camp for a couple of years now. If you're in a camp of double world champions, there's a lot of expectation. That expectation is not there when you have Sharks. It's a very different level of scrutiny that players are under as well. So how do you handle that and just that weight of expectation coming into a camp like this? And which I'm sure you've seen just the difference in the intensity of how people handle the Springboks as opposed to
I would say I've handled it pretty much well. I feed off energy and I feed off guys and I see how guys do things, and I try to repeat the same thing. So I think with the expectation is within the group. We set high standards within this group, and we're kind of not worried about what's happening on the outside. And if we can set ourselves standards and maintain those standards within this group, and we're happy. No, indima endifuna idlala kwamabhokobhoko kuncedisa ngendlela positive, nabandadlala nabandlali kuba lapha kuenjoya utrainer nabadlali abafana noVili noGaza noHandre, noncedisa amabhokobhoko aphumelele abe nempumelelo kule season. Yeah, i-Barbarians siyayazi uba itim ethanda udlala i-expensive rugby, itim unpredictable. And yeah, utreyina kwethu ngezi veki ziphelileyo sitreyinala into enjalo nogcina ii-structures zethu zamabhokobhoko nofocusa kuthi singadweli kakhulu kwizinto abazenzayo, just focus kwinto esifuna sizenzile thina ebaleni and nendlela esifuna udlala ngayo.
One last question. There's a lot of talk about basic skills, most of us with senior teams. People are saying that we are behind overseas teams, especially European teams, because they're playing with conditions to use standing before. Is there some emphasis being placed on you guys still, doing basic stuff like passing the ball, catching the ball, or are you just focused on more advanced stuff in this game?
No, 100%. We do focus on like our basic skills. If you can't pass, then the other person won't be able to receive the ball. So I think Felix Jones plays a huge impact within our forwards and our back line to be able to train those catch pass, be able to kick well. Yeah, it is a big skill that we learn every day and that we try and implement every day.
And Felix specifically helping you with that side?
Felix, Tony, all the coaches, you can, that's the nice thing about being here is that not every coach is specified to one thing. So you can grab Coach Stick for a bit of passing, grab Jerry for a bit of passing, bit of kicking, so that's the nice thing about it.
Everyone happy? Any further questions?
Just on a personal note, you have quite a long one. You're injury going with the Sharks.
Yeah.
You got rid of the consecutive games. You feel like you're back to your best and you just get more game time.
Yeah, I wouldn't say back to my best. I never know when my best is, honestly, because I just want to keep on improving as a rugby player and being able to learn the way of rugby. Yeah, it was good to get, I think, 6 games back from injury, be able to get my nick back. Yeah, pretty excited for what's coming up next and how I can be able to develop my game and be able to, I guess, play a lot of games.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Jesus, cameras, man.